Hey everybody, it is Wednesday night. It is time for Super Geeked Up.
Woo!
What's up, everybody? My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Super Geeked Up, your weekly geeky pop culture show. Really cool show tonight. We actually have Mitch Kosterman from Supernatural Fandom, the movie. So all your Supernatural fans watching, we're working questions for you guys during the show today. But we're also going to play our normal geeky games. We got character cage match, superhero tweets. We're going to talk best supernatural mystical weapons, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for geeking out with us.
Hey, I am Tanya. You can follow along at Super Geeked Up on Twitter. Make sure you use the hashtag SGU so we can see what you're tweeting at us.
Yes, and we are going to start things off by kicking it over to our part-time co-host, full-time awesome. She told me I had to introduce her that way. Sarah Moore from Gamer Chick. She's going to kick us off with the Geek Tweet of the Week question.
So the Geek Tweet of the Week this time is, what supernatural weapon would be your weapon of choice? And my choice would be the Force, because it's everywhere. And
that's really smart.
Anything you want with it. So
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
I know. Well, clearly you failed.
That's like the best answer.
Right, so are we done then? What's next in the
Okay, show over.
Feels like, Force flows through everybody, and I could pretty much manipulate it to do anything I wanted. So.
All right, yeah, that's great.
There's one thing you can't manipulate it to do, right? So we had a discussion about this beforehand. I originally had a different answer, and then Sarah and I were discussing that I was going to change my answer. So originally I was going to pick a weapon from Supernatural, the show, which is the First Blade and the Mark of Cain, because they go together. That was going to be my choice. But then we just started to discuss that, Dean's pretty hot, so he's my Supernatural weapon of choice.
Yeah.
And you can't manipulate him with the Force, really.
Sure I can. If I want to be a Sith, I can do whatever I want.
So how is Dean's hotness as a weapon? Like he's gonna melt all the girls?
Have you seen Dean?
No, but is that how you're using him as a weapon?
Yes.
Well,
hey man, I was watching Jensen Ackles on Smallville before he was around Supernatural. So yes, I know who he is.
I'm just saying, he takes down every monster he comes up against, and sometimes he dies. Even that doesn't stop him. Comes right back.
Good point. Good point.
And we're not going to give spoilers away beyond that. Never mind. I was going to go further.
Plus, he's super lickable.
Oh, there she did it. She went there.
Yeah, she said it.
Great. Well,
someone had to.
Let's get an answer from our guest, Mitch. Mitch, what would your choice be? And by the way, folks, it doesn't have to be from the show Supernatural. It can be any kind of, weapon that's a supernatural, mystical element. Mitch, what is your choice?
Well, I feel like I should stick with Supernatural. I thought that was the general intention of the question. I like to counter Tanya because I don't find Dean hot at all. I've known him for quite a while, and he just doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. But
that's all right. More for us.
Actually, though, yeah, we just won't share anymore. That's all.
Now, Rowena, because that accent can bring any man, woman, or monster right to his knees. That's what I think.
That was a really good accent.
Really good. You should be playing geeky accents is actually what I just thought there.
Yeah, that's one of our segments on our show. We should have done it.
Oh, she's great. Anyway.
So live tweets coming in right now. At Maria Durant says, you can never go wrong with the Force. And Marcia McHale at The Always Geeky says, Dean makes the best weapon. So agreeing with both Sarah and Tanya there.
It's because we're smart.
Yep, all right. You're going to lose that part-time co-host title pretty soon.
That's right. Still full-time awesome.
That's true. You're keeping that one, though.
Keeping it.
All right, so I got two choices. I had a whole bunch, actually, weapons I listed down here. But two I'm going to go with is the Dagger of Time from Prince of Persia, because I could manipulate time and do time travel, and that would be amazing.
I love that.
Yeah. Like I could go back and then steal Sarah's answer of the Force.
Actually, though.
Because that's obviously the best use of that time travel ability.
Yeah.
And my other answer is the Sword of Grayskull, which He-Man wields in. I watched He-Man as a kid all the time. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. I just want to say that. Which I actually often say in my just daily life, to be honest with you.
Just walking around every so often. You're in the middle
At
of the
the
store.
office.
Yeah, right. When I buy some gum at the store.
When things go your way.
Yeah. Or you can use it to make things go your way. Like if you
Yeah.
feel like the situation's getting out of hand. You just,
Right. Oh, I
Or
agree.
after
I
you
bet
take a
if
glass of milk, you could say, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power after you drink milk.
Could, yeah.
if I just yelled that out, I bet people would get out of my way because they're like, "Who the hell is this weirdo? Let's get the
they
fuck out."
would. Probably.
So it works.
Yeah. From earlier in the week, we have some social media answers. Alexander Martin says, damn, either the Colt from Supernatural, which is going to be my other answer, or the Sword of Omens, or
Yeah,
Magic
Sword of
Soul
Omens.
Sword is also epic. Marsha McHale says there's a chaperone count. Of course it is. Carlos Ramirez says Thor's hammer. And from Twitter, Ryan Ward says his fake answer, which I don't think should be a fake answer, is a black 67 Chevy Impala. Had to.
Yeah.
His other answer is the Sword of Truth from Terry Goodkind's books, The War Wizards? Powers with it?
No, it's the Sword of Truth series. Wizard's First Rule is the first one. Legend of the Seeker was the show based on that. That was one I thought about. Yeah.
Got it. And Casey Taylor says a dragon, a Keyblade, or an Aeon from Final Fantasy X.
Keyblade is a good one, man.
Coming in right now on Twitter, Honky Tonk Buffalo says, "Is there really any other weapon than a proton pack from Ghostbusters?"
Nice.
I thought of that, yeah, definitely. Cool.
It's only good against ghosts, though. That's the only thing, man.
I feel like if you hit a person,
Well, yeah, I think you're really
with
gonna.
the proton- like,
Not
I
good.
think that could do some damage.
I think you could play with like the settings of that to
Yes.
Sure.
broaden
Science,
its
basically.
you could science it.
Science the shit
Science
out
the
of it.
shit out of that. All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our new tagline. Thank you, Matt Damon.
By the way, we mentioned like the Martian on every show now, like the past few weeks. We referenced that somehow.
It's because he's very sarcastic, and so are we. So we just steal his lines.
So also on Twitter right now, Anthony Davis at Listermate says, "I can picture Jeff going He-Man." Oh, thanks, Anthony. I'm glad you're the only one probably who can ever picture that, but
We're all picturing it now.
so you should. At Her Weirdness says, "Agree. Dean's been my crush since day one."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All
I've
right.
never heard that before.
I know.
You're
Really?
such a liar.
Like, really? Everyone I know who's a Supernatural fan loves Dean. I mean, they also love Sam, don't get me wrong.
No,
And Sam
here's
is very
the
well
thing
built.
about Sam. Sam is great, but he was on Gilmore Girls, and that's all I can see him as. Plus, in the beginning, he had that stupid hair.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
his hair was terrible at the beginning. He needed to either cut it or grow it out. Like I was like, you look shaggy, not all right.
Marsha McHale at The Always Geeky also says a wand from Ollivanders as a weapon. That's very good. So,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps the
Yeah.
Elder Wand.
The Elder Wand, yeah.
Oh, she did it, and then she said the actual description of the Elder Wand right after that.
Well done.
All right, Tanya, you want to talk to our guest a little bit more here?
Yes. So, I'm just going to do a little preamble. The reason why I was nominated to introduce our guest tonight is because obviously I am a huge Supernatural fan.
We got that. Yeah.
Jeff has heard me fangirl a lot about Supernatural on the show. And I try to hold it in, but sometimes it's hard. So I'm really excited about tonight. We have Mitch Kosterman from Supernatural Fandom, the movie. So I am a proud member of said fandom. So hey, Mitch, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming on. We're very excited. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about the project? What led you down this crazy road of fandom, and deciding you wanted to capture it on camera?
Well, my brother works on the show. He's the bodyguard for J&J. There are a lot of people out there. A lot of the fans know him. His name is Cliff. And he's the one who identified the fact that there was something interesting about the fandom. He was observing it, in his travels and on the set as well as at the conventions that he was going to. And he asked me to come on board and start to interview the fans. And as I was telling you earlier, we initially interviewed a bunch of fans, and we started realizing there were some interesting stories out there. And then we found out there was an incredible relationship between this particular cast and the fans, and we started interviewing the fans, the cast about that, and the cast had a very similar feeling about the fans that the fans had about the cast, and that was a really interesting phenomenon in itself. So it grew, and now we have actually, it was so big that we couldn't make it into one single 90-minute feature, that we turned it into 10 22-minute episodes. We're going to broadcast 5 before Christmas, 5 after Christmas, starting with a premiere at the Pasadena Convention on November the 15th. We're going to show the first episode called The Convergence, starring Cedar Manigallo, and we're also going to release it at the very same time, Vimeo on demand. SPNFanmovie.com is the place to see it.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you share any favorite fan moments that you've encountered in the course of probably hundreds of hours of footage that you've had to go through?
The fan moments, the most spectacular ones, are, for me, the experiences that I witnessed of people coming out of the photo opportunities. And I think our third episode is called Pics or It Didn't Happen, and that's about the photo ops. And if you've ever been to a convention, which really is an interesting thing to observe if you've never seen it, but the photo ops are the big thing, and you see the people coming out of that photo op, and they are significantly impacted emotionally. It's very, very moving.
Very cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people who get very, very excited about their photo ops, and will willingly wait in that line for however long it takes for that to happen. That's amazing.
It can be a long time, yes.
Yeah.
But they have it set up so that the photo op is an experience. I'm getting some feedback. Are you guys okay there?
Yeah, you're clear for us. Yeah.
Okay. You get to observe the photo ops taking place, and people really plan these things out, and although they get only a few seconds, maybe a minute, for the photo op to take place, they observe in the line. They're in the room for the other people's photo ops, and it becomes an event that lasts for each person for about 15-20 minutes, and it's a real interesting, unique, intimate time with those people that they have watched on television.
Cool. Now you were saying before. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just work in some tweets here. We got questions for Mitch as well.
Sure.
At typical_hangout says, are y'all? It says y'all, by the way, so I'll do it Southern. Are y'all as excited as us fans?
Oh, well, I'm much more excited. Remember, I've been immersed in this stuff for 27 months with various cameras and camera crews. I've been to Las Vegas, Dallas, Houston. We're going to be going to Jacksonville, Florida. We've been to, obviously, in Vancouver. We're going to Seattle. We've been all over the place, and the interesting thing is that it doesn't matter where you go, that passion for the show and the relationship that Jared and Jensen in particular have built with the fans is present in every single place. I would say my favorite place, though, Las Vegas. That's the best con for me. I love the Las Vegas con. I'm going again in March. In fact, the 90-minute feature version of this movie is going to be premiered at the convention in Las Vegas, March 13th.
Oh, awesome.
Amazing.
Very cool. Let me work in one other tweet question, then I'll go back to you, Tanya. At Momada, JP says, in your process of making the Supernatural Fandom movie, were you surprised by anything you encountered?
Yes, that day that you came down and found me on the set when I was about to interview Jared, yes, I know who you are.
I thought you were talking to me at first. I was like, I was talking to her. I was talking to her. Hello, how are you? There were a lot of interesting things. The most remarkable thing, as I've said many times in the past, was to discover that the cast felt so similarly toward the fans as the fans do to them. And that is something with 30 years in the film business I had never witnessed before. In particular, Jared and Jensen. And they both had a huge amount to say. I thought I would capture a couple of sound bites. And when they came in for their first interview, Jensen spoke for 16 minutes. He walked out, and Jared spoke for 21. Jensen got tears in his eyes in his interview. He was so passionate about it. And Jared actually had more to say and asked me to come to the set with another crew and interview him again on another day. That is something to me that is beyond remarkable. I had no idea that would ever happen.
And that is something that we were talking about before the show. It does truly seem that the cast, that the fans sort of the main cast does actually love their fans. You hear a lot of stars say how much they love their fans, and I'm sure that is true to some extent, but this cast seems to actually love their fans and want to interact with them and want to show how much they love them in return for the love that they get from the fandom, and that's really refreshing to see. They seem to be very down to earth with that.
Yeah, we have interviews with, I think, 28 or 30 cast members, all the top cast members. And the interesting thing is you will see that they all echo that exact same sentiment. So.
Awesome. All right, so the website is spnfanmovie.com, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And the first episode's launching on November 15th.
Correct. You
Sweet.
can see it there. Yeah. Or you can come to the Pasadena convention and sit with us and watch it with me and my brother Cliff. We're going to watch it on the stage, and we're going to have a Q&A afterwards.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah.
And and on Twitter it's at SPN Movie.
SPN Fan Movie. SPN Fan Movie. Yeah.
Perfect.
We had a couple of Facebook pages up there too, and of course our production company is called Two Sharks Media. So at Two Sharks Media is our Twitter there, and Two Sharks Media is our Facebook page as well. We have a web page as well, Two Sharks Media.
Amazing.
Lots of pictures and all sorts of stuff. We have some other things. We do live broadcast on Periscope. We have a lot of other little shows that are totally 100% free that you can see on twosharksmedia.com.
Sweet. Check it out, everybody.
Very cool.
So listeners mate on Twitter is asking where our normal co-host Nicole is. Nicole is actually, she sent a picture and she's out. It's her husband's birthday, so she's out at dinner with him. And actually, Scott, who's her husband, actually edits our podcast for us. So happy birthday, Scott! Thank you.
Happy birthday, Scott!
Birthday, Scott!
Ooh, there you go. You got it from Mitch. There you go. Awesome. All right, so cool. All right, so we got some cool segments and games we're going to do. We're going to do some superhero tweets. We're going to talk about what fictional characters would tweet about Netflix and chill. If you don't know what that is, well, hey, join the club. I didn't know until like yesterday either. And we're also going to do some geeky news, new Star Trek series. So freaking excited. Can't wait to talk about that. And we're going to do character cage match as well. We're going to do some character battling. We're going to argue them. First, a word from our sponsor. Hey, speaking of Star Trek, we are sponsored by TrekFan.org. So this episode of Super Geeked Up is brought to you by TrekFan, the world's fastest-growing Star Trek fan club. For SGU viewers in the United States, all new TrekFan members will receive a cool Trek gift in the mail. TrekFan membership is always free. You can join the adventure at TrekFan.org. All right, check them out. All right, so we are going to come back to do superhero tweets in just a minute. But first, if you're watching the recorded version, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you back in a second.
Welcome back from commercial break. You're watching Super Geeked Up, and we're about to play superhero tweets. I can't match Nicole. I'm not even going to try.
All right, it was good. That was solid. I'm right with that.
Okay.
Do some singing next time, though. That'll be like Nicole.
I might. I could maybe do like the pew 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 thing or something.
I thought you said you're going to puke. I was like, please don't do that.
Oh, is my new performance art, guys.
So pew pew is the way she pretends to be Iron Man. She's like pew pew pew, like that's her energy blast, and it's ridiculous. Right.
Yeah. You have to see
she's adorable.
She is. She's adorable. That's why I can't even top it. There's just no way. I'm just not going to try. Anyway, superhero tweets, getting back on track. This is a segment where we give a scenario and a couple of characters, and we have to say what those characters would tweet out to their mass followings in given scenario. So this...
Hey, can Sarah and I read this dialogue to explain what Netflix and chill is?
Well, do you want me to read the tweet first, and then you can...
Oh, yes, that would make more sense, right?
Yeah. Stop jumping the gun, Jeff.
I'm so excited
He's
to read
really
this.
excited now that he's learned a new phrase this week. I feel like
I'm cool, man, like all the kids.
Anyhow, so the scenario for this week's superhero tweets is, what would these characters tweet about Netflix and chill? And for those of you that don't know who Netflix and chill are,
here's some dialogue from Urban Dictionary that Sarah and I will read to explain what Netflix and chill is if you don't know. Ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Hey, Julia, want to come over and watch Netflix and chill?
Sure, I'll pick up the condoms.
Wait, I thought we were just going to watch Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill means we fuck, dumbass.
Oh, good.
Now I get it. All right.
There it is.
We've been doing it wrong, people.
I got
We've
it
been doing
totally
it wrong.
All wrong.
Totally
By the
wrong.
way, that actually is how that conversation would have gone for me if it was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Sarah and I were joking before the show that, she and I are both married, and I'm like, actually, when you're married, Netflix and chill is actually you turn on Netflix and you
And you
Chill.
chill. You watch Netflix.
that. That's what it is.
Mhm.
We're not cool
Okay.
anymore. Anyway, so here are the
Oh, by the way,
characters.
before we do that, I'm sorry. Let's give a shout out to one of our most amazing fans, Anthony Davis at Lister's Mates. It's his birthday tomorrow, which is actually only about a half an hour away in the East Coast. So happy birthday, Anthony! Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Anthony!
Woo.
Always with us every
Remember, the 5th of November.
Oh.
Oh, great historical reference. I enjoy that.
I had a baby on the 5th of November, so I know.
You remember it very well.
I remember it.
Oh, so you were Netflixing and chilling.
No.
9 months
She was having,
previous.
she was
9
having a
months previous
baby
to that.
on.
Mine was previous. Oh, is that how it
There
works?
was very little chilling the day. That
Yeah.
You don't have sex and then you have the baby like the same day? That's not how it
No,
works.
I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure.
I mean, I don't think the technology is quite caught up to that just yet. Like instantaneous baby making.
All right.
This is taking a weird turn. Anyway, this is so these were the characters that we were given. So what would Batman tweet about Netflix and chill? The Hulk and Darth Vader. So
Right.
feel free to send in your answers, Twitter friends.
Totally ready.
What Batman, the Hulk, and Darth Vader would tweet about Netflix and chill. Who wants to suggest maybe what Batman would tweet?
Okay, so here's clearly what he would say. He would say, accidentally brought my hashtag Netflix and chill utility belt on my last raid. Had to fight Catwoman with a vibrator. It was surprisingly effective.
Well, Catwoman, that makes sense. I can see you're getting distracted by that. That'd be-
And clearly he would have a separate utility belt that he would be taking
For
with
sure.
him.
You think about these things very deeply. I
Yeah,
see
he really does.
He does.
it does. Yeah.
I did my
got-
homework.
Yeah, no, she does. She studies, man. Okay, Batman would tweet, "Hey, @BoyWonder, instead of capturing the Joker tonight, want to just Netflix and chill?"
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that took a turn.
That was a very public ask.
Does Batman know what Netflix and chill is in this scenario?
Yes, he does. Absolutely.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
good for you, buddy. No
And
judgment.
actually, in reality, he totally would not. He would have no clue whatsoever.
No, he would think it's what we all thought it was.
I don't
and where you
know.
actually watch Netflix and chill.
Plain millionaire, billionaire playboy. I think he gets the ladies. He could
Well,
probably.
maybe. Yeah, his Bruce Wayne side of him might know.
But once yeah, all right, go ahead.
Mitch, did you think of anything for Batman by any chance?
Yeah. I think he would say, want a Netflix and chill? It's okay. I'm Batman.
Yep. I feel like it's very reassuring.
Mitch is good with the accents, though, and the voices.
Very good. Honestly, we should have done geeky accents. They're awesome at these.
On Twitter, Honky Tonk Buffalo says, "Batman, ask Selena to Netflix and chill. She told me to slide down my own bat pole."
Nice.
Oh,
Burn.
burn. Mine was I don't chill. # where's Rachel?
Oh, it's always Rachel.
Oh.
I don't believe that Batman believes in having fun as Batman.
No, he doesn't. Hey, I got one more for Batman.
Yeah.
It's a little bit same theme as the other one, apparently. Netflix and chillin'. See, I'm using it as a verb now. I'm getting really cool.
Okay.
Netflix and chillin' in Wayne Manor with Alfred and my favorite Dick. Like, you get it, Dick Grayson? All right.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get
There's a
it.
little, threesome action happening for
Yeah.
Batman tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
Look at him. Look at him go.
All right. So next character is the Hulk. Mostly because it's a funny mental picture in my head, which is why I thought that. Mitch, do you have anything for the Hulk?
Sure. What Netflix? No chill. Hulk smash.
The voice every time. It's awesome.
Every time.
That sounds like the Hulk to me. I think that's what he would say. So.
Absolutely. Jeff.
Hulk too angry to chill. Hulk just want to watch Orange is New Black on Netflix.
Hulk watching Orange is the New Black. That's a good one. Wow.
I thought so. Thank you.
That's good.
Sarah.
Halfway through the night, hashtag Netflix and chill turned into hashtag Netflix and smash. I don't think there will be another date.
Aww. Mine's very similar. Mine is Hulk smash. Which is hard to get the innuendo on Twitter. You had to figure out how to do that.
Got it.
So one of my favorite names here on Twitter, Tangerine Queen, who goes by actually @C_underwager, but Tangerine Queen is her actual name apparently.
I know her too.
Oh, cool. Good. It's addressed to you, actually. Batman equals Catwoman purrs, Hulk equals smash, Darth Vader equals I am your father. I have no idea what I'm doing. Love you, Mitchie.
He's got it. He's got me all figured out, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Connie, I think. All right.
Any other ones for the Hulk at all?
No.
Marcia McCall at the Always Geeky said Hulk don't need no lullaby. Hulk need Netflix and chill. Where's Black Widow? That makes
Well,
sense.
she could follow it up with a lullaby.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
But he doesn't want to go to sleep. He wants to have sex with her.
Afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
All right. That'd be nice.
Post.
Coitus. Yeah.
That's the words. For Darth Vader. That's the words. What about for Darth Vader?
Who, me?
Mitch,
Sure.
anyone who wants to first?
I can do that, sure. Call Netflix and chill. I'll show you the dark side. And you can call me Daddy.
Oh.
Nice.
That's great.
I heard that. From Tangerine. I heard that, so.
That's nice. Sarah.
You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. I'm here for Netflix and chill.
I wish that was the real line.
I think it is. Well, they're going to re-release it again. And I'm pretty sure that's
I'm
gonna
sure.
be
I'm positive.
better.
I'm positive. That'll be in the remake.
Jeff.
My master wants me to exterminate the rebels, but I'd rather just Netflix and chill with Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh.
I have a theme going on in these. If you
You really do. I feel like you found an angle and you're just working on it for every single one.
That's what she said.
Yeah. In that vein, mine is she's feeling the force. Hashtag.
right.
That's what she said.
No force jokes in there at all.
Oh, he's just like, what's the safe word? Anyway, done. Any on Twitter that you see?
Let's see. I don't think so. I don't think we got, oh wait, hang on. Here we go. Yep, Honky Tonk Buffalo just tweeted one in. There we go. Darth Vader, haven't Netflixed and chilled since Padme. Not sure if the lightsaber still works or not.
Oh no! I mean, he was very severely burned.
Yeah, that's very accurate. I actually feel Darth Vader never had sex again after that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, he probably doesn't.
But
Yeah, he may not even have it. He may not even have it.
That would explain the frustration, though, I think.
Yeah.
That's why he's so grumpy, guys.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
he just needs to get laid. Poor guy.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, the whole war never would have happened if he just had sex.
True.
Someone needs to make a web series about that. Just
Darth Vader trying to get laid.
yeah.
On it.
Imagine that, like at the end, Luke tries to save him by like trying to set him up and get him like
Like blind dates.
yeah.
Like
He's
Darth
let me
Vader
show
on
you,
Tinder.
like, Dad, let me show you. Oh, dude, you beat me again. God damn it, Sarah. All right.
I'm sorry.
He did ask him to call him Daddy. He did do that.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, so before we go on to geeky news, we got a question from Mitch on Twitter at her weirdness. Sasha, one of our regular viewers, says, "Ask Mitch how much of the lovely Misha we'll see in the movie."
Misha was the first cast member to give us an interview. And in those days, we weren't sure what the cast was going to do. I didn't know what kind of questions to ask. So we do have some very nice footage of him, and he was a really gracious person to give us some wonderful insights to the whole phenomenon. However, I'm hoping to interview him again in Pasadena. So whatever I got at that time, I hope to supplement on November the 15th, and we will add that to the series as we go. He has said he would like to be interviewed at that time, and I'm going to have a crew there, so hopefully we'll get that done.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I have to say that the introduction of that character was phenomenal. That was great. A great writing thing. I won't give any more of that for anyone who doesn't watch.
A great writing thing. Well, hey, you told me.
I know. This is
I love
why I'm the
best.
wordsmith.
I love it best when Cass tries to be
Human.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I don't understand why he brought a pizza, but the woman doesn't seem to be wanting the pizza.
Yeah. It's great.
Step away from the porn.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for some geeky news, and then we're going to do some character cage match after this. And keep tweeting us at #SuperGeekedUp, #SGU. And again, you can keep tweeting if you have questions for Mitch about Supernatural Fandom, the movie. All right, so we're going to lead with what I know Tanya and I are certainly super excited about this. So, okay, cautiously maybe excited on Tanya's case, but me too. There is a new Star Trek series coming in 2017, January 2017 to be exact, on CBS. You know, it's very funny. I was actually just last week talking to someone who's doing a Star Trek convention saying, like, man, I'm dying for a new Star Trek series. And I actually said, I don't think we're going to see it for years because of the movies. And then this news landed. So I'm very excited. As you know, if you watch the show, Star Trek DS9 and TNG are my two favorite shows of all time. That's just like growing up, man. That's just what I did. I watched Star Trek. Mm-hmm. And so awesome. I've really wanted a new Star Trek series. I'll give you a little info, then we'll talk about it. So it is going to be, one of the executive producers will be Alex Kurtzman. Alex Kurtzman is one of the writers of the two rebooted movies. He's often works with J.J. Abrams. He pretty much does every TV show on the planet right now, to be honest with you. Limitless, like Scorpion, he's produces on, Sleepy Hollow, all that stuff. Wrote for a million movies. And the most interesting thing about this is it's going to be on CBS All Access, so it is only going to be online. The pilot, they are going to do a TV broadcast, but then the rest will only be on CBS All Access, their subscription service. I never know how to say this guy's name. Les Moonves, the head of CBS?
I think so.
Know?
I think
right.
so. Yeah.
Good enough. Close enough. He talked about the reason they did it this way is Star Trek, they call it a family jewel, he said. Basically, it's like, obviously, it has such this passionate fan following. They feel this is the perfect show to help them really build their online subscription VOD service. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it that way. Also, he talks about the international appeal of Star Trek and how actually they've sold so much of it through international that they've almost, I guess, paid for half the show already or something. I don't know. Something like that, he says. So, yeah, so obviously they talk about Netflix and Hulu both being their friends but also their competitors. And, you know, this is, I guess, Star Trek, I think, is a big way they really want to push their VOD. And it's not going to be the only CBS All Access only show. There will be more in the future as well. Yes.
Aside from fangirling out, because same deal, my childhood TV was Star Trek TNG, Voyager, DS9, X-Files, and Little House on the Prairie.
Which one doesn't belong there?
One of these things is not like
Oh no, did we just lose Tanya? Oh, that's a bummer.
She was so excited about Little House on the Prairie.
She froze with excitement. All right, so she'll be back in a second, hopefully. All right. Well, what do you guys? I don't know. Are you guys, Mitch or Sarah? Are you Star Trek fans at all? Do you watch any of the series?
Oh, Star Trek? Absolutely. I mean, I watched it when I was a boy, so I don't know how the heck you could have watched it. It must have been reruns, I guess, because you're significantly younger than I am. But it was a great show. I absolutely love William Shatner even to this day. I would watch him do anything. I liked all the different iterations of the show afterward. I watched every single one. I love the movies as well. We just made the last movie here in Vancouver. I was on that set many times. It's going to be a great movie.
Oh, Star Trek Beyond, you mean? The one they're shooting right now?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, well, it's finished shooting, but
Yeah. Right.
just finished.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, Tanya's back.
My email was like, nah, I'm too excited about Star Trek. I'm cutting you off.
That's what we said. We got Little House on the Prairie, so pick it up from there.
Yeah. So yeah, huge thing. Like I agree. Like even though Into Darkness for the movie wasn't my favorite, I love anything Star Trek. I just adore it. In terms of their release strategy, super smart. Like the entire industry is going to subscription video on demand. That's just what's happening. And the kids these days are not watching on TV, and I think they're going to want the younger audience. So this is a brilliant way to introduce a whole legion of people to a show that they probably haven't watched. Because
I agree absolutely. Yeah.
Super smart. And I to be honest, we're going to be seeing a lot more of it anyway through other networks. I mean, HBO is starting to do it with The Daily Show, not The Daily Show, but Jon Stewart's new show is going to be all through their HBO Now and HBO Go. Like this is where everything is going. So brilliant move on their part.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to subscribe to CBS All Access just to watch Star Trek now.
Exactly. That's why. Like they know that people are gonna do that.
You only need one good show, really, to drag in an audience. You need one good show, and then you've got your network. So.
Yeah.
So on Twitter, Honky Tonk Buffalo says, I keep asking Santa for the J.J. Abrams cast to do the Star Trek series. Is that too much to ask? Damn it. Hashtag Carl Urban rules. Carl Urban does rule.
He does.
So let me add to this, Honky Tonk. The movie and the TV show are having nothing to do with each other. Totally separate. The series is going to be a totally new, different characters. No idea where it's going to be placed. I'm actually very interested to see where they do place it in the timeline.
I would love beyond the Starfleet Academy one. That'd be so cool.
They've talked about that before. I almost kind of wanted, to be honest with you, just go beyond Voyager, go beyond whatever they've already did, and just put it in the future again, even further on. I would love to see that. So I don't know what. Here's the thing, I'm a little on the fence with Alex Kurtzman. Like he's done so many things I love, but then he's done things I don't love so much, like Transformers, and this new Star Trek. I'm like, ugh. The first reboot I liked, Into Darkness, not so much. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I don't want them to make this series really like the movies, which are very action-focused, and I get why that is, but I really want to hope that they capture what all the Star Trek series have been about, like awesome characters, cool science, and getting across, like, important social things, right, in the stories. That's always what Star Trek, and that's why I've loved it, and I hope that's what they keep it with. And I don't know. So I'm a little worried they may not do that. They may go more towards the younger generations, but what do you guys think? Or what are you hoping to see, I guess, out of it?
Well, one of the things I liked about the original show was how original the material was every week. The interesting places they went were really fantastic and often a nice surprise. And we haven't seen that much in the later years, so definitely not in the movies. Not a lot of big surprises.
Sure. Sarah, any comments or thoughts?
I
Okay.
don't care.
All right, get out of here.
Okay, so it's not that I dislike Star Trek.
Awesome.
I don't dislike Star Trek. But I'm not.
Like it, I know. Okay.
I'm not married to it. I liked the reboot movies because I didn't have like this deep affection for the original source material. I like that it's set in space because I like sci-fi in general. I love that Captain Kirk has so much mojo that he can make an android fall in love with him. I think that's great. You know, it was fun and campy, and they tackled really important stuff, and it was really important for, you know, television and the time period, and like I get its significance. But like growing up, I was a Star Wars girl, and we just I didn't have as much exposure to Star Trek, and so I don't have that same sort of like, please don't change anything. I'm just like, yeah, cool, space shuttle, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough.
Yep.
That's that.
So Ryan Ward on Twitter says, it's CBS. You know it's going to be either Star Trek CSI or NCIS Star Trek.
He's got a point.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least he says he was joking, but that is actually
I would totally watch a show centered around Bones solving mysteries. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, that actually would be kind of cool.
Medical mysteries.
Nice. All right. Cool. Well, yeah. So I'm, and by the way, folks, next year, 2016, is actually the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. So it's a pretty cool time to be getting ready to launch a new Star Trek series. I'm very very excited. I can't wait. So it's actually it's only a little over a little over a year away, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, it's not far.
Bad. Not bad. So we'll be. I'm anxious now to hear more news and who's going to be cast and all that stuff. All right.
Me.
I wonder if they'll do any.
I'm gonna call them and just be like, hey, you just put me on it.
I wonder if they'll do, you know, like on the first ep of TNG, they had like DeForest Kelly and stuff. I wonder if they'll have any cameos from like the TNG or DS9 or Voyager cast or anything, you know?
I would hope so. Like, sort of, depending on where it's set and how it's set, like this sort of like passing of the torch thing would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, a non-Star Trek question for Mitch from Tangerine Queen again says, which Supernatural Fandom movie episode will we played at JaxCon? Do you know that? Do you know?
At JaxCon?
Yeah.
That will be episode 6. So open up your webpage and read what that says. I can look at it myself right here. Just give me 1 second. It is Giving Hearts, Helping Hands, the Family Business. It focuses on, how can I get back to my hangout? There I am. It focuses on the involvement of the cast and fandom on charities and their significant impact on some existing charities and how some brand new ones evolve right out of fandom. It's a very interesting episode, and there'll be lots of tears.
That's all right. Get ready to cry, folks.
Better get ready.
Mitch is going to make you cry, so...
My goal in life.
I do voices and accents. So... at the Deepu, our buddy Deepu on Twitter, so he likes this Star Trek CSI idea. He's got some dialogue for Star Trek CSI he tweeted in. Looks like Worf fell over the side. It's too bad he didn't remove sunglasses. Cling on. Ah. All right. That's what David Caruso, right? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
In Miami.
This.
Yeah, he does that every time, right? Like he's like. Every time he's about to say something like really important.
And then he drops a zinger, and then he floats off screen left.
Yeah. It's working for him, though. He's making money.
Yeah. Making a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So our next piece of news is AMC has started to release one of the new trailers for an upcoming series coming out in 2016 called Preacher, which is based on a comic book series. That seems to be their new source material, given the success of The Walking Dead. Admittedly, when they first started talking about the series and who was producing it, it is Seth Rogen's production company. And given the material of it being very dark, it's basically about a preacher with a violent past, not really quite escaping said violent past. I wasn't sure Seth Rogen could handle that because I didn't see anything about getting high. So I watched the teaser, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was awesome. Did you guys get a chance to read it all? Or watch it at all?
I've never read the Preacher comics. I did watch, yes, I watched the teaser trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know what, not my thing. I'm a huge comic fan, yeah, but this kind of thing, same thing with Walking Dead, man. I just, no. I know AMC is like the hottest thing ever right now, but I just have no interest in watching these about these characters who are just kind of assholes and just go around killing people and doing violence and just I'm done.
I like them because they're so tortured.
Yeah. I mean, the actor looks like he's doing a kick-ass job in the role. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. There you go. Sorry. Any other thoughts though, Sarah or Mitch on Preacher?
I don't know the source material at all.
Okay. All right.
I read the comic books, but I haven't seen the teaser.
Did you like the comics?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had boxes and boxes of comics. I read everything I could get. So.
It looks cool.
Right.
I have cautious optimism that they were able to pull off a drama despite who developed the series. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't really have much of a doubt. I'm sure it'll be definitely successful for them.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, they need something in addition to zombies. The zombies can't last forever.
Time to move on.
They'll try to make it though, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. So next piece of news is the Alien sequel that was being planned by Neil Blomkamp, or I think that's how you say his name, District 9 director, is now indefinitely on hold because a gentleman named Ridley Scott is going to do his Alien movie instead, which makes sense. So
who's that upstart Ridley Scott?
Yeah. So Ridley Scott was, I guess it was going to be Prometheus 2, but it's now titled Alien Paradise Lost, which is a pretty cool name. Anyway, but it's a sequel to Prometheus. He's doing that. So obviously they said, well, Ridley Scott outranks you, Neil Blomkamp, so he's going to do his Alien movie, and you're going to go do something else. So that's basically the gist I got out of this article.
I kind of feel bad for him. Like,
I don't feel that bad.
He's going to do all right.
Yeah,
I know. But you get all excited and passionate and blah, blah, and they're like, nah. Like, that's sad. I feel bad.
I don't know. How much... Because I actually love Prometheus. I know a lot of people didn't, but I'm more excited about a sequel to Prometheus than I am a sequel to, like, the other Alien films, to be honest with you. So, and it's Ridley Scott, man. I mean...
You can't take it away from him. You just can't.
Awesome. All right. So, yeah. So I'm excited about... I mean, it sucks for Neil Blomkamp, but I'm excited for another Prometheus movie.
Sucks for that dude.
All right, Tanya, we got another piece of news item.
One more for this. So a few years ago, I'm sure probably a lot of people saw it, there was the Alice in Wonderland movie with Johnny Depp, Anne Hathaway, all those awesome people. And actually, I quite enjoyed that one. But they are releasing the sequel, which is Alice Through the Looking Glass. I believe it's coming out in 2016. And Disney released a trailer, which looks like it's just Alice falling through the sky.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Alice. We can't quite see her. It's like 10 seconds, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I enjoyed the first one, I admit. And even though I have great admiration and respect for Johnny Depp, I think he's great, I find sometimes when he gets into his character roles, it's a little tiresome. And at that point, I was so tired of him doing his character roles that I was like, to hear him doing Mad Hatter again, I'm not sure if I will want to see it again. If that makes sense. Even though I think Alice Through the Looking Glass, the book, is much darker than Alice in Wonderland. I've heard it's much more twisted.
Yeah, it's like super crazy drug trip. I really like the Alice stories. I think they're really cool. They actually, this year is 150 years. Like, it's because it was set in like 1860 something,
65?
Yeah. But there's been a lot of like Alice stuff happening. I think that Gregory Maguire just released a new book called After Alice, which is based. I don't know if you know him as a writer, but he writes fairy tales from other perspectives. And so this is about Ada, who is mentioned like in like 2 lines, which is Alice's friend, Ada. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think the Alice stories. I mean, Disney made them much more sanitized for people, but it's crazy and dark and Jabberwocky and everything in Wonderland wants to eat you, and so I do like the idea of being able to take it in the more like adult direction and get some of that crazy shit out in there. But I have no idea what's going to happen with this movie because it was literally just like it looked like test footage.
Yeah.
Like, can we make it look like she's falling? That's good. All right, release that. That'll tell them all that they need to know. So, I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to see it, but I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Marsha McHale, was Geeky, says she's very excited for Through the Looking Glass. Huge fan of Alice and Company. All right. Some other tweets let me share that are coming in. Keep tweeting, folks, at Super Geeked Up, hashtag SGU. We actually have some Darth Vader tweets about our superhero tweet from earlier. Now they're getting on board with this. So this, if you weren't tuning in earlier, we asked what would Darth Vader tweet about Netflix and chill, which means having sex.
It's important that Netflix is playing though while you're.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now that's the thing. It has to be playing, right?
Yeah, because you do start watching something. It's just.
And then, so do you start watching Netflix and then it proceeds to the fucking?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a progression. You don't just jump right in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Netflix is kind of the foreplay.
Yes.
Right. Sadly.
Good.
You'd have some problems then, I'm afraid.
I'm learning a lot. All right. So at the _Queen_E says, for Darth Vader, I find your lack of arousal disturbing. I like that one. Betty at Haya Boopers says, Darth Vader would say, let's not pretend this would be fun. I am loud, I wear a helmet, let's call it what it is.
Hi, Betty.
That's a very honest from Darth. He's really, he's telling the girl what it's going to be like.
He's a straight shooter, that Darth Vader.
In so many ways.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
I mean, he's more machine now than man, right? So, I mean, I feel like that you could use to your advantage.
All right. So, one last quick news.
Tanya.
Then we'll go on to Tanya's lost it. We'll go on to character cage match in just a minute. I'll mention this. Ryan Ward, one of our fans, tweeted this in. Thank you, Ryan. A show I watched when I was very young. It was from 1981, The Greatest American Hero. If you go watch it, it's so cheesy looking right now, but they're rebooting it. All right, the second time they're trying to reboot it. I could feel so free. All right, I'll stop. First off, best theme song ever. Go listen to the theme song. It's in the article.
I'm going to be terribly disappointed if the new Greatest American Hero does not have that amazing, blonde crow.
That theme, I wanted to use, maybe they'll redo the theme song. They'll give it a little more, I don't know, spice it up.
Yeah, but he needs the hair. The hair made the man.
The hair, yes.
William Katz had great hair, yeah.
Great hair.
Yes, thank you. William Katz was the star. Anyway, here's the actual, this is the current plot synopsis of the new reboot, which pretty much captures, I guess, what the story's about in the original. Greatest American Hero is the story of what happens when great power is not met with great responsibility. An ordinary man, completely content with being average, wakes up with a superpower suit he never asked for and has to deal with the complications it brings to his life. That's pretty much it, guys. That's the
story. To be honest, I feel like it describes a lot of people. They wake up with responsibilities they didn't ask for.
Don't want it.
This was interesting, though, because it is actually the suit that's giving him the powers. It's totally the suit. He has no powers whatsoever on his own outside of he doesn't wear the suit. That's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
The suit was so awesome looking, by the way, folks. Go look it up online. You're going to blows the bat suit away now, or whatever else you want to, Iron Man, anything else like that.
Wow.
You want to Netflix and chill with the suit?
I do, actually. I want to wear that suit and Netflix and chill.
All right.
All right, so there we go. That's geeky news for the week. We're going to do Character Cage match in a minute. Real quick, let's mention we have a Patreon campaign going. If you don't know what that is, Patreon is a way for people to support all different kinds of artists and cool peeps out there. on the internets. And we have Patreon campaigns, so if you dig what we're doing, if you dig our zany geekiness that we do bring you every week, you can go to patreon.com/supergeekedup or just go to supergeekedup.com, and our video is right on the homepage. And you can support us. And any support, of course, is super greatly appreciated, or if you can share it, we love that too. And that really helps us do our, get better equipment, do our show better, keep traveling to cons to do our show live, all that good stuff. So, and we have one particular Patreon person we always want to mention because she's super generous.
And that is Maria Duran, who is watching right now, and she's joining me in my Walking Dead love. She hosts a weekly chat on Twitter about branding, where you can learn about how to brand yourself in different areas of professions. So we participated in the chat in September about branding online and at festivals and Comic-Cons. If you use the hashtag BrandChat and follow along at BrandChat on Twitter on Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, you can see this conversation that Maria facilitates. It's an amazing educational thing. If you know nothing about branding and how that works, or even what I'm talking about, it's not branding your arm. It has to do with PR and marketing. For sure, check out that chat every week on Twitter. It's awesome.
All right. Also, at Kesley, and mentioning something Mitch said earlier, I feel like a comment about Darth Vader and Call Me Daddy is just begging to be made.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we neglected to mention, our show and also part of Supernatural Fandom the movie is Frostbite Pictures, is part of both of those things. Jason Fisher, who's one of the guys who runs Frostbite Pictures, is surprisingly getting very into the Netflix and chill discussion on Twitter, which is I did not expect from Mr. Fisher. Yes.
Actually,
we call him Flipper, by the way. We call him Flipper.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have two sharks. I'm the blue shark. My brother's the red shark, and he's Flipper.
Aww.
Aww.
That's cute.
I almost heard his eyes roll there for a second.
I'm sure that's what he's doing right now if he's watching.
Absolutely. He's taking a swig of whiskey and rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant man, and we could not have made our movie without him. He brought us to the end. He's the man.
All right. Flipper's the man.
Flipper's the man.
Flipper is the man.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna be getting some.
I believe it's the
later.
parenthetical of this episode.
There you go.
All right, so we got one last segment we're going to do. It's called Character Cage Match. We're going to have some awesome characters in an epic battle. We're going to decide who wins. We're going to do that right after this commercial break. So if you're watching the recorded version, we'll see you back in a second.
Welcome back from commercial break. You are watching Super Geeked Up, and we are about to play Character Cage Match.
Oh yes, you did say awesome.
I kind of did.
It was good.
I was kind of go for like the come out and play thing. I was trying to do that.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Warriors.
The Warriors.
All right.
Sport. It's so sad.
All right, here we go. We got two character cage matches. The way this game works, folks, if you've never seen us do it, we have three characters pitted against each other. These are all fictional characters from the world of sci-fi, fantasy comics, all that, superheroes, that stuff. Each person is going to be assigned a character. They will have to argue why that character would defeat the other two in an epic battle. All right? So you can make any kind of, the argument can make total sense. It could be totally off-the-wall zany, whatever you want to do. Totally works. I will be the game master for the first one. So Mitch, Tanya, and Sarah will be arguing these characters, and then I will make a decision on who I think won. Twitter, you can help me out by also tweeting in your thoughts and who you think is making the best argument, and also just what you think the characters might do in these battles. So the first battle is Blade. So Blade, the vampire hunter from the Marvel comics and the Wesley Snipes movies, versus Jafar from Aladdin versus Chewbacca. We got Blade, Jafar, and Chewbacca. So Mitch, you are our guest. I will let you choose. Which character of those three would you like to argue?
Chewbacca. It's got to be Chewbacca. Because up here in British Columbia, we have the grizzly bears, and I've seen grizzly bears, and they are the most fearsome creatures on the planet, in my opinion. So in Chewbacca, in my opinion, you have a grizzly bear who can shoot a gun. So that's
all right. Oh, he's already getting to his argument.
I know,
man!
Right?
Hang on. Let's
sorry, I went too far. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. That's good. You're already raring to go.
Okay.
So Tanya, Sarah, somebody just choose one of the other ones. Who do you want?
I am going to be in Jafar's corner.
All right, Tanya, you got to do Blade then.
Of course I'm doing Blade.
Hey, well, Tanya, you make vampire movies, so it should be right up your alley.
Exactly. Like, why would I? Why would I not choose the vampire?
Okay, good. All right. So, Mitch, so you already get some good arguments. Anything you want to add though, like why Chewbacca would defeat both Blade and Jafar?
No, I think that's it. It could be just the fact that he's bigger and heavier and stronger, and massive claws. Plus, he has a gun. So.
He does. He has a bowcaster that shoots lasers.
Yeah.
See,
okay. Yes, go ahead.
Here's the thing. It's Chewie, and Chewie is, awesome on many levels. Blade, however, is superhuman, based on him being touched by a vampire, but not quite converted. So he can smell supernatural creatures nearby. He's also trained himself to Olympic level athlete levels, so he can just beat the crap out of everybody. And Jafar is like a twig to this dude. I think he would look at Jafar and he would just snap him. And I think with Chewie, because Chewie's so tall, with all of the swords and weapons and daggers that Blade's really good at, he would just go in low and just cut his Achilles heels and just totally disable him.
Do Wookiees have Achilles heels?
I'm assuming.
Okay. All right.
They're humanoid. They probably have something like that.
Something like that. He would just cut off the tendons so he couldn't move, so that would be done. And he wouldn't even see because he would just sneak in like a ninja.
All right. So on Twitter, before we let Jafar, Tangerine Queen says already, Chewbacca tears it up, winner. And Maria Duran says Flipper's the man, and she actually put a video of Flipper.
That's awesome.
We need to send that. We need to retweet that to Jason.
It's going to be Jason Fisher's least favorite episode of Super Geeked Up.
Completely.
Fantastic.
All right. So yes, Sarah, Jafar, why would he win?
Okay. So yes, Jafar is a smaller person, but it's because he doesn't have to be bigger, because he is an all-powerful sorcerer. He's got a magic staff that he can control people with. He can turn into a giant fucking snake. He can become an all-powerful genie, pretty much just control everything around him. He doesn't even have to get close to you.
Yeah, but Blade can smell him. He's supernatural. He would know where he was.
That's not like a power. Everybody can smell things. It's not like...
Yeah.
How is that?
How will the smell lane help him defeat Jafar?
Because he knows where he is.
Sure
he just,
that everybody can smell Chewie because he's a Wookiee. They are not known for being delightfully fragrant. So I mean, there's a chance that if the three of them are in a fight, Chewie's odoriferousness, it's just gonna short out that superpower.
I do not understand the rules of this game. I didn't know that smell was nearly so important. I'll try to.
I didn't either.
Usually it's
I'll try to remember the nose.
Generally not.
Okay. The nose is important. I get that.
To Tanya it is. Marsha McCall at the Always Geeky says Jafar has magic and Iago, winner hands down.
Yeah, man.
Alistair Reevy says Touched by a Vampire sounds like a trashy romance novel or film to me.
That's how Twilight got written.
That's what you watch when you're doing Netflix and chill. Like,
yeah.
You want to watch Touched by a Vampire?
Yeah.
Bringing it back. Any final rebuttal?
First time. Sorry, Madonna.
Oh, very good. Any final rebuttals? No? Okay.
Also, Iago would be yelling at you from the sidelines, distracting everyone, aside from...
All right, so let me make a decision. Excellent arguments all around. So I actually think I will go with Jafar as the winner, and I'll explain why. So congratulations, Sarah. Yeah, here's the thing. It was a really good argument for both Chewbacca and Blade. Here's the deal, but I feel that I think that I can picture Jafar bathing in these really nice scented bath water. So I think the smell thing would just not work at him at all because he's so clean.
No, he smells supernatural powers. That's what he smells.
Oh, I didn't get that. I'm sorry. That's what you're arguing. And also, I feel Iago, who's voiced by the awesome Gilbert Gottfried, voiced it so annoying that nobody could concentrate, and Jafar would just take them out.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Fair.
Jafar is the winner. So Tangerine Queen is not giving up on Chewbacca, so she's in your corner, Mitch, or he.
Thanks, Connie.
Chewbacca with machine gun plus bazooka equals Baboom, the end. I'm not sure why Chewbacca would have a machine gun or bazooka, but okay.
I mean, I feel like we're adding things now. Not a part of the original plan.
I love it. No rules.
No rules of character cage match.
No.
Our next trio of fighters are Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Bellatrix Lestrange, and Orko from He-Man. I think Jeff wants to
Yeah, I
be
got Orko. Hell yeah.
Yeah, gotta be.
Mitch, who would you like?
I'll take Sabrina. She's hot.
Awesome. Okay.
Uh-oh,
Nice.
watch out. He's chilling with Sabrina.
I'm a manther. You got to remember that. So,
Yeah.
if you watched our Periscope, I'm a manther.
Nice.
Is that like a cougar for a guy?
Yeah, you got it, dude.
Is that a real term, or did you guys just make it up?
You asked Jason Fisher. That's the first place I ever heard it. So maybe he made it up for himself. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm finding all these
we have a
things
question about the word
Fisher.
manther. So Sarah, that leaves you with Bellatrix.
Groovy.
Awesome. All right, who wants to defend to the death?
To the death. Wait, who's
To the death.
What?
No, I prefer to the pain.
Okay, to the
Yeah.
pain. All right, fine.
To the discomfort. That's where I go. That's where I go with that.
Until we run out of arguments.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
So I will say, the Always Geeky, Marcia McHale actually goes first at the Always Geeky on Twitter. Bellatrix is just mad enough to not care who she hurt, including herself. She would surprise everyone with her craziness.
That's true.
So there you go. Why don't you take it from there?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think Bellatrix she's super twisted. And I think that she has no problem using killing curses. She uses them quite a bit. She's super into torturing people, especially muggles. So she pretty much, if you're not a wizard, she regards you as, like, if you're not pureblood, then you're below her, and she'll do whatever she wants. She's super, super powerful as well. She's powerful enough to be, like, right hand of Voldemort kind of thing. Plus, she's just, like, when she was in, I think she was in prison long enough that her mind just kind of busted. And I think that she has no concept of, like, I think she has absolutely zero fear. Like, it won't matter to her if she hurts herself. It won't matter. Like, she's gonna go for it. She's like a rabid animal, like a cornered, crazy rabid animal.
All right. On Twitter.
Are you reading Jason's tweet?
What did he say?
So Jason Fisher says, Manther is a real term. I didn't make that shit up.
New one, man. I'd never heard that one.
Oh, man.
Marcia McHale says, OMFG, To the Pain, my favorite movie. So there, she appreciates your reference to The Princess Bride, Sarah.
Very good.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
All right, so Mitch, why would Sabrina win?
Well, I tell you what I've been trying to do here is to sort out the rules because I'm the new guy. And I realized, of course, that the nose was important. So now, after listening to these two lovely ladies, so I went right away for Sabrina, because she's got the little twinkling nose. But being a man of a certain age, a Manther-type guy, I also know that Sabrina's mom was Samantha, and that was Bewitched. That was the show that I watched, and they have a whole family full of witches. So what I'm saying is you could have one Bellatrix Lestrange, and I don't know who that other person is, but anyway, that Sabrina can call in her family, and we got, like, half a dozen powerful witches standing around them. So that's my battle plan. Call in the fam.
All right. Well, Tangerine Queen is always agreeing with you. Obviously, a big fan. Sabrina has magic. She actually kicks some ass. I think she can inflict ouchy, grouchy pain.
Ouchie crouchy.
Ouchie, grouchy. Does this person just follow you around and just
Our
like?
fans are funny.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just him. He's tweeting it to like reinforce.
Yeah. Oh, he copied my phone. Yeah.
And now Ryan Ward is tweeting the Urban Dictionary definition of manther. I'm going to look that up later. I'm interested.
Okay. Yeah.
What that
You
is.
want to
Anyway.
claim it? You want to claim it, don't you, Jeff? You do. I know you.
I actually, well, Jason Fisher already has the Twitter. I'm sure. So too late.
Awesome.
Oh, so no, you mean Flipper. Flipper already has.
Well, he has a lot of them.
Flipper's a
Flipper, he's a manther? Flipper's a manther?
Flipper's a manther.
All right. Well,
He's
let
gonna
me
love
tell
this.
you. Let me tell you about the gentleman, not gentleman at all, but the guy you don't know whose name is Orko. So Orko is the most awesome character in He-Man. He's a sidekick to He-Man. Nobody knows what the hell he is actually. He's some kind of interesting alien creature because he has a whole hood and you can't even see him except his eyes. But so here's why Orko would win. So number one, Orko is the cutest character on He-Man. He's super adorable. Everybody loves him. And he's like a lovable alien. And so Sabrina is just going to think he's so adorable. She'll no way she would ever do anything against Orko. She's just going to want to hug him, and that's it. Forget it.
Right,
Now,
well, they're Netflix and chilling.
yeah, exactly.
Bellatrix is going to wipe him
Yeah,
out.
well, all right. I'll address Bellatrix. Here's the thing with Orko, right? Orko is also a wizard. But he's not a very good one. And you might think, well, that's not a good argument, Jeff, but I'll tell you why it is. So Orko's spells always go haywire. Now, here's the thing. Dude, that's very dangerous. You don't ever know what the hell he's going to do with his spells because who knows what's going to happen? What's more dangerous than a powerful wizard that's going off like a crazy person? You don't know what the spell's going to do. All right, Bellatrix she's just going to be hit by one of these crazy spells, and that's going to be the end of her. Also, Orko's really tiny, and he can fly by himself. Bellatrix needs a broom to fly, and he's going to be zipping all over the place. She's never going to hit him with anything, and one of his crazy spells is going to go bouncing off the wall or something and hit her.
And kill himself.
No,
or damage the
Take
furniture.
himself out.
well, somehow though that never happens. He never hits himself, so he's very fortunate that way. And also, he tells really corny jokes, so she'll be groaning so much from these bad jokes that she won't be able to attack him. That's why Orko will win.
Okay.
I think she'll have a Death Eater, like, human shield that she'll be shooting from behind.
You just carry around a body.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably.
Okay. Any final counter arguments? Okay.
Marcia McCall says Bella can call in all the Death Eaters and Voldemort himself. Sabrina and her fam are no match, so she's on Sarah's phone.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
That's
good.
pretty good. This is hard because honestly, if I was just gonna like look at the names, I would assume a certain person would win. But I kind of have to commend Orko.
Oh wait, you said command. Does that mean
No. I'm awarding Orko.
Yes.
Because you're using his weakness as a strength.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck it.
That's sweet.
I mean, come on. That's
That
seeing
was
the positive.
that was a pity award. I'm sorry.
No way. That was a creativity.
Consolation prize.
That was a
It's a
creativity.
participation ribbon.
Mitch is a sore loser. That's what we found out. Sore losing Manther.
Awesome.
All right, so there we go. Character cage match. Well, excellent job, everybody. Very intellectual there, Tanya, with your choice of the winner. Anyway, so.
This is coming from the woman who once picked Thor because someone said he had pretty hair.
Oh God, yes. I forgot about that.
Last time I did this with you, you picked whoever I was defending because I abandoned the character and just started attacking Jeff personally.
So really, when it's for me deciding, there's actually no right.
There's no
Totally, yeah, it's totally
no
random
rules.
what Tanya's gonna do.
No rules.
I'm Orko. You never know what my spells are gonna do.
Yeah, you are Orko. I could see you be Orko,
Well,
actually.
you're late.
Oh yeah, well I'm He-Man. We established earlier. You're Orko. All right, good.
Yeah,
You
that
got
works.
both another the whole cast out.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get out of here, once again, Mitch, why don't you give links where people can check it out, find Supernatural Fandom, the movie, all that good stuff.
They can go to spnfanmovie.com, our website, or twosharksmedia.com, the other website, and all the information is there. We have a list of the episodes and the release dates for them.
Awesome. And SPN Fan Movie is pretty much what you can do on Twitter and Facebook and find them all there as well. You can like it, follow, all that
That's
good
correct.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah, you want to give a link or two for where people can follow you, all that good stuff, check your stuff out?
Sure. My personal Twitter is @pixiesandpins, and you can follow me on Facebook at Actor Sarah Moore, where I post all of my super fun, geeky modeling stuff.
Awesome. It is super fun. And she's in like a million different projects, so you can find all about them.
Cool.
So you can follow us, of course, at Super Geeked Up. Tanya's at Tanya Dodds on Twitter. Please also, if you're listening to the podcast version, if you're on Blog Talk Radio, we would love it if you can also check out our sister shows, or part of the League of Geeks network on Blog Talk Radio, which is SFP Now, Sci-Fi Pulse Now, that is, and also Genretainment. The three of us make up the League of Geeks. You can go to blogtalkradio.com/League of Geeks and check all those out. And please also, guys, if you have a chance to go to YouTube, youtube.com/supergeekedup, and give us a subscription, we would love that. That definitely helps us out as well. Next week guests are from the web series San Fran Land, so you can tune in then. Of course, we'll be back as usual, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday. I want to give huge thanks to Mitch. Thank you so much for being an awesome guest.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a lot of fun. It's a great show you got going here. I like it.
Awesome. Thank you. There we go. Hey, we put that quote on our website. I like it. Mitch Kosterman.
That's right.
A lot of fun.
And also, of course, thank you guys for watching live, and also thank you, as any Supernatural Fandom movies, if you're tuning in for the first time, we hope you come back, geek out with us. We do this zany stuff every week, and if you're watching in post or listening to podcasts, we really appreciate it as well. All right, so you can find all our stuff at supergeekedup.com. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching or listening. All right, stay geeky, everybody. Bye.
Bye.